I am Dr. H.B. Singh, Professor, Department of Mycology and Plant Pathology, Institute of Agricultural Sciences, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. Today, I will be speaking on intellectual property rights in biotechnology with a special reference to agriculturally important microorganisms. Now, what is intellectual property right? So, in the simplest term and definition, property created with the intellectual creation of human mind is commonly called as intellectual property. So, anything on earth beneath the sun where human mind intellectual creations are there, they can be protected under IP. But the legal definition of patent, if you see, it is a patent is a legal monopoly that is granted to the owner of a new invention that is capable of industrial use for a specific period of time. In most of the countries, this period is defined as 20 years. So, meaning thereby once you get IP protected, rights will be invested with the investor for 20 years. It empowers the owner of an invention to prevent others from manufacturing, using, importing or selling the patented invention. Patent Act 1970 as amended in the years 1998 and 99 along with Patent Rule 1972 governs patent in India. So, legally this definition is acceptable all over the country. So, broadly if you see intellectual property right, they are divided into two major parts. One is industrial property, the other is copyright. And in the industrial property, there are different categories like patents, trade secrets, plant variety and protection, integrated circuit and design, industrial drawings. Whereas, in this copyright business, trademark and geographical indications, they are the one. So, in general, the intellectual property right contain all these branches where you can protect your inventions. Now, in a more simpler language, I want to just tell you what is the intellectual property right and what for we should get intellectual property right. It is something like owning a property. Suppose you buy a house, get it registered by the authority, then it means you have the right to live in that house, you can sell it out, you can rent it out, you can mortgage it, and even if you want to construct a new well, you can bond it. So, IP is something like that. It provides the owner of the invention to do all those activities, but if you do not have IP protection, you can simply live in this house. The other four activities you cannot do. So, my dear friends, IP is very essential, and I have listed here IP is not legal. It is a territorial boundary. Suppose you protect IP in India, so that is the territory. Anybody can infringe from outside the country and you will not have any legal right on that. And therefore, to me it appears that IPR is a business, and business means if you really invent something new which has industrial uses, you can really create business out of that. So, the big companies will come to you for licensing of your particular technology. This is exactly what is the meaning of. Now, the question is why to patent and what are the major objective of patenting, and I think this all researcher must know. This number one is this encourages researcher and development. This particular IP always encourages research and development. It rewards the inventor for the expenses that he or she goes to make the products commercially viable. This is another beauty of this particular for obtaining the patent. The third one is to induce the investor to disclose his invention rather than keep them secret. Many scientists, what they do, they publish the finding in journals, sometime even in patent, but they do not describe the detailed methodology of this. So, anyone interested to repeat that type of experiment, they are unable to get the same result, and therefore, the patent is very essential, where you have to disclose all your findings which really you want to tell the people. And last one is to induce the investment of capital in new lines of production. Many big industrial houses, they only approach those scientists who have IP protection. Otherwise, If you have not protected IP, they will not come for licensing of any technology. And therefore, my humble submission to all the scientists and teachers, researchers, that you must file patent once you feel that they are the novel inventions. So, before doing so, one must know what are the patentable items. So, these are the patentable item: any process or a method or a manner of manufacture or a machine, apparatus or article, or a substance produced by manufacture or the process of manufacture of an article, they all can be patented. The second and most important is an improvement of an article or of a process of manufacture. This particular point is very, very essential to elaborate here, because you may feel that on particular thing there are patents, n number of patents issued by different governmental body. So, nothing to be nothing to be thinking that way, that if somebody has done it, you can also do it. How to do this? If you can improve that patent further, there are chances that you may get a new patent. So, likewise, I will cite an example of paper pen, which is used by all people in day to day life. It has been awarded 3 patents. One, the one who developed flattened rod; second, person who improved that rod, put a pointed tip; and the third one, produce a thumb like structure on the tip. So, the present paper pen available in the market, they have 3 patents granted, and this is how you can improve in the existing patent. Now, once it comes to biological material for which the patents are granted, I have listed almost all kind of microbes and the biological materials which can be patented. If you see here in the left panel, algae, animal viruses, bacteria, bacteriophages, cell line, cloned genes, embryos, fungi, hybridomas, tissue, plant tissue culture, plant viruses, plasmid and phage vectors, purified DNA. So, proteases, seeds, yeast, protozoa, means all these microorganisms and other things, they are patentable. And therefore, one has to apply his brain that how to develop new processes, new products and other new microorganisms by DNA fingerprinting or other technology. So, finally, if somebody asks you what is patent, so patent is a document issued by a government office for the novel invention that create a legal situation for exploitation of the invention. That is in a nutshell patent means. Now, the patent, before you go for patenting, you have to define certain properties of patent, that is novelty. What is the novelty in your patent? That is very, very important. So, the patentability will be decided only once you are able to prove novelty. So, non-obviousness, it means the work which you are going to patent, it should be non-obvious to mankind. There should not be any published paper on that, there should not be any patent granted, there should not be any abstract, or it should not be available in any published form, either in the form of oral lectures or in form of printed material. So, any novel invention should not be published in any form. That is the beauty of this, and it must have industrial applicability. If your invention does not have industrial use, so there is no use of patenting anything. And therefore, I think that any life scientist working in any domain can publish a patent, can file a patent depending on the type of branches they are working. Now, what are the procedure for registering a patent? I have listed here. Identification of invention R&D, that is very, very essential, and for that you have to surf a lot of websites. I will be showing you later on that there are n number of websites you have to surf, and that is why we call it patent search. And then patentability of invention, this legal, R&D plus R&D both, whether your inventions are really patentable or not, that also has to be seen from that. Search of existing patent, it's a very exhaustive work, and one has to devote a lot of time surfing different website of patent, and then only you will be able to derive whether the information which you are feeling it is new is really new or not. then provisional specification has to be drawn by you initially, and then complete specification also has to be drawn, fully describe the patent, then all these things, then drawing if any is there, then complete specification you have to prepare within 12 months. Means in 1 year period, provisional patent you can file, but in the 1 year period you have to complete all those information, so that the patent office take cognizance of what you are really telling. Now, here I will be focusing more on, as I said in the beginning, I will be concentrating on microbe and microbe derived product or their secondary metabolite based product which can be patented. So, the first and foremost thing in patenting microbe is that the microbe, they have to be deposited in the international known repository, and they are very few in number, and it is American Type Culture Collection USA. They are the one which is approved by the Budapest Treaty, and this is the formal fee of ATCC. Once you deposit your culture to them, they will keep in their repository for 30 long years in under safe custody. Anyone interested in doing research, they can ask the culture from the ATCC, they will provide you free of cost, but they are not meant for commercialization. Remember one thing, don't take any culture from ATCC from where you want to develop technology. No, it is not permitted under the law. It can be used as a control that this is the culture which I have obtained from ATCC and the inventor has reported this. So, if you want to report similar kind of activity in your microbe, it should be better than what is reported in the literature, and for that purpose only the referral culture we ask from the ATCC. Now, the prerequisite for submission of the culture in ATCC or any other Budapest recognized repository is they do not take any live culture directly on the press culture media. So, what they exactly take is the lyophilized culture in vial. So, you have to submit the lyophilized culture in the vials, and then the viability test has to be performed, and if they are found that yes, the cultures are viable, then only they will accept in their repository. When the culture is a part of the patent application, and guarantee maintain is necessary to satisfy patent office requirement. As I said, if you are having a microbial patent or a product derived from microbe, whatever claims you are making, so anybody in the world can verify your claim, and that is why the international law says that culture has to be deposited in the Budapest recognized. So, this is why the cultures are mandatory submitted to the international repository. So, once you deposit the culture, I said in the beginning, they can be kept for 30 long year, and anyone interested in the world can ask these culture from the ATCC, and they will provide you for R&D purposes. So, what is the benefit of registering intellectual property right, and what are the prescribed pro forma, what are the offices where you can file your applications? Everything has been listed in my slides. So, here if you see, there is a prescribed form which is available on the website of Indian Patent Office. So, you take that form, fill it, then submit it to Indian Patent Office. Online submissions facility is there, then it will be submitted, then finally what will happen, it will go to examination. The patent office will send your application to examiners for examination, and if your application, whatever claims you have written there, if they found that your application is right and there is no certain such claims by anybody in the world, your application will be accepted and it will be advertised and published in the patent register. Finally, it will be entered in the register, and the inventor will be rewarded. He will be awarded a certificate that yes, this particular patent has been granted to you or our organization, referring the name of the title of the patent and inventors. In case that the examiners, they raise certain objections, that many times what happens in the Indian, particularly the Indian scientists, they do not do much homework, and without surfing the total patent site, they file the patent. So, examiners, they sometime what they do, they notice that such type of patents have already been awarded by somebody else. So, they will raise many objections. Once the objections are raised, then you are supposed to reply those objections properly, and if they are satisfied that your reply is really up to the mark and whatever the examiner has raised you have satisfied, then they will accept your application. And if they are not satisfying, whatever you are telling is not true, then automatically your patent will be rejected by the patent office. So, my dear friends, I humbly submit this thing to you. Before you file patent, please do homework. Please visit all the websites which I am going to show you later on, and then only find out the novelty and prior art, and finally submit the patent application. Otherwise, what is happening in India? Once you file a patent, it takes about 7 to 10 years for a grant of patent. It's a very long period. And suppose after 7 or 8 years or 9 years, an inventor gets that this type of observation has already been made by somebody else and your patent is rejected, then you feel very sorry for that. And not only feel sorry, you are losing the institutional money. The patent fee will never be refunded to you. So, you lose money, you lose time, and therefore, I said in the beginning, thorough homework, thorough search of patent is very, very essential. This is very important. This is a punch line I am adding. Please do thorough search before you. Now, I will talk much on patenting microbes, and this is a very historical thing, because prior to 1980, if you see the history, there was no patent granted on microbe. There was no patent granted on microbe. Why? Because the patent office thought that the microbes are the creation of God and there is no human intervention, and therefore, patent cannot be granted on a live microbe. It was Anand Mohan Chakravarti who fought the case with the Supreme Court of United States that the microorganism he has filed patent is not present in nature. It is a genetically modified microbe which he developed, and this particular microbe, instead of using carbon, it uses or utilizes hydrocarbon, and this is the thing for what he pleaded in the Supreme Court, and finally, he won the case. So, landmark judgment in the Anand Mohan Chakravarti case was that he got the first US patent granted in the year 1980. Since then, almost every country in the world, they started patenting microbe, and today if you see the total list of granted patent, you will get 90% patents are on microbe and microbial products. Now, these are the repositories, as I said, American Type Culture Collection USA, the International Mycological Institute UK, the ARS USDA USA, and we have one laboratory in India, that is Institute of Microbial Technology. It is a Council of Scientific Industrial Research Lab located in Chandigarh, where you can submit your culture for patent purposes, and they also keep your culture for 30 long years. This is the historical case of Diamond versus Chakravarti case. There was a commission set up by the Supreme Court of America, and this case is known as Diamond versus Chakravarti case, and the hearing is listed here. I am not going to read it out. Now, this is the ruling of Diamond versus Chakravarti case, and this in fact started the era of patenting in microbes. Now, friends, as I said, patenting search is very, very important. In biotechnological intervention, I have listed many websites like European patent, Japan patent, US patent, and World Intellectual Property, and PCT, that is Patent Cooperation Treaty. Commonly, people call it global patent, and there are more than 200 countries in the world where one can file. So, first of all, you have to file in India and go for PCT phase, write those countries where exactly you want to file your application. So, automatically the Indian Patent Office will process your application for PCT and the selected country by you where application will be filed. These are the procedure. Now, here in India we have 4 patent offices. The headquarter is located in Calcutta and the branch offices are in New Delhi, Mumbai and Chennai. So, we have divided country into 4 zones. So, Delhi, you can file the northern India, southern India is the Chennai, the central India is Mumbai, and rest of the part like in eastern part of the country they can file in Calcutta. So, this is the 4 patent offices working in India. Now, here you see just this is screenshot of the Indian Patent Office website. It is a very, very user friendly website. On the right panel you will find that patent, trademark, GI, everything is listed. So, just click it there and you will get the information on that particular site. So, those interested in filing in India, please visit this website. This is Indian Patent Office website, very user friendly, free of cost, anyone can access this website, and then you develop the idea how to file patent, what type of requisite forms are essential for filing patent, what is the patenting fee for a particular patent, everything has been listed on the website. So, you all are supposed to visit this website and get the desired information from this particular thing. Now, not only the free websites are there for patent search, there are n number of websites which are free in nature. So, anybody can access without paying any, but there are certain paid sites I have listed in the right panel. You see you have to pay money for that. So, you have to use your credit card for that, and that is perhaps lacking in our country. Many of the scientists, many of the teachers, many of the researchers, they do not want to put money for searching the patent. If you are unable to do that, there are certain organizations in the country, they do patent search free of cost for you. I just tell you, there is a DST organization known as TIFAC, Technology Information Forecasting Assessment Council, located in New Delhi. So, if you approach any scientist from the country approaches the TIFAC, sister organization of DST, they do patent search for you freely. Those researchers who do not have any research grant, they do not have a project, they do not have money from their institution for filing patent, DST TIFAC used to help those scientists in filing patent, and the expenditure incurred on those patents are borne by the TIFAC. Likewise, many state governments, like I am from UP, similarly in many states they have the State Council of Science and Technology, like Uttar Pradesh Council of Science and Technology. We have intellectual property cell there. So, anyone working in UP can approach the cell, and there a specific designated scientist is there. You approach them, they will find, they will do your search free of cost, and not only they will search patent free for you, they will help you in writing and in filing the patent. So, Government of India is very, very cautious nowadays that all the researchers must file their patent before they go for publication and so on, because patent, as I said, is a business, not illegal. So, these are the sites from where you can get the informations. As a microbiologist, as I said in the beginning, as a microbiologist, I developed certain novel processes, novel microbes, and then products, and they have been patented in different countries. So, these are the list of our own group patents. Like if you read the first one, a strain of Trichoderma hergianum useful as nematode inhibitor, fungicide, and a plant growth promoter, and a process for the isolation thereof. This was the first US patent granted to our group, and the patent number is listed. So, likewise many more. So, here if you put this patent number on the USPTO site, the detail of all these patents will be available on your screen. So, these are the patents from our group. I do not want to read it one by one, but you can see it here. Now, for a beginner, I think if you really want to know what is patent, what are the legalities, so there is a book known as the Indian Patent Act. This is Patent Act 1970. This is a very good book, legal book available in the market, and in the center I have listed a book, very nice book, Intellectual Property Right, Unleashing the Knowledge Economy by Prabuddha Ganguly. I think this is the Bible of patent. This book has been written in such a simple language, any student of science can understand. And on the right panel, there is a book published by WIPO, the most recent 2013, and it is available free of cost on the website. So, anyone interested to know about world intellectual property right can go through the right one publication by WIPO, and for the common readers, the middle one, that is Intellectual Property Rights Unleashing the Knowledge Economy by Prabuddha Ganguly, is a wonderful book. One can read it and get the all detailed information from this particular thing. In fact, we also compiled a very good book published recently from KIV International UK, Intellectual Biotechnology on the left panel, and you will see again here lot of books are there from our group. They all are related to microbe and microbial product for sustainable agriculture. So, this is the list, and recently we published a book on advances in PGPR, plant growth promoter, again published from KV, then nanotechnology, biopesticide, again from KV. So, these are our new publications published from international publishers dealing the different kind of biofertilizer, biopesticide, intellectual property right, processes, product, patents, and then finally the technology is available. So, up to this you have heard about the process of patenting, but I said in the beginning patent is a business. Now, how to do business? These are the three wonderful books I have come across. Again, one book is by Prabuddha Ganguly, Technology Transfer in Biotechnology. Then the art and science of technology transfer and technology licensing. I request all my friends who are really doing innovations in microbiology or biotechnology, they must read these three books. They are the Bible, and in fact, whatever little I have done in the field of microbiology, I started developing idea after reading the book by Ganguly, and then I read these books, and now I am sure that I can convince any industry who is coming to me for licensing that why our technology is good or better than the others which are available in the market. So, this is exactly what I wanted to share, but in the conclusion I want to tell all my fellow researchers that we need to tilt our research endeavors towards patenting. Here I want to tell you, if you see the patent portfolio of China, they are number 1 in the world. China files approximately 4 lakhs patent every year, as compared to India we file only 20,000 patents, and therefore, we are far behind. If you see the China, they are not top filer in the world. Then the patent should be commercially viable. This is again very important. It should be user friendly and beneficial to society, and the patenting is also essential to protect our microbial diversity. You must have heard that many microbial diversity, plant diversity, insect diversity has already been stolen by the foreign people. You know the neem patent, you know haldi patent, you know basmati patent, you know lot of herbal drugs, they have been patented by the US people or European people unknowingly, but since we are very poor in filing patent, that is why perhaps others are taking the advantage of that. So, my dear friends, please follow strictly that whatever new inventions you do in future, before filing patent you will not disclose those inventions to anybody. Thank you so much.